Hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, we entered the Dead Hand Cave, and I was actually able to solve this puzzle on my own. I didn't have to enter my Mind Palace, which totally isn't code for the Dragon Age wiki. No. I didn't have to enter my Mind Palace once to figure this out. I actually feel quite proud. I know it was a very easy puzzle, and I probably shouldn't feel as proud as I do, but I thought this was gonna take me ages, and it really didn't take me all that long at all. I should really stop underestimating myself as much as I do. I could, but I won't. I will continue. I will continue to underestimate. Now then, because we did that, this big door at the back unlocked. Everyone is following, yes. Okay, good stuff. Come on, people. Let's see what there is. Oopsie, up and over. Superb Amulet of Cunning. Ooh. Lovely. I said there was gonna be a codex entry for Dirthaman. Right when we came down here, there was a codex entry for Falon Din, and I said they come as a pair. Always. I knew there was going to be this one. Dirthamin, Keeper of Secrets. The twins, Falon Din and Dirthamin, are the eldest children of Elganon, the All-Father, and Mythal, the Protector. The brothers were inseparable from the moment of their conception, known for their great love for each other. That is why we often speak of Falon Din in one breath and Dirthamin the next, for they cannot bear to be apart, not even in our tales. When the world was young, the gods often walked the earth, and Falon Din and Dirthamin were no exception. Both were delighted by the many wonders of our earth. They played with the animals, whispered to the trees, and bathed in the lakes and streams. Their days were filled with bliss, and they did not know sorrow. And then, one day, while passing through the forest, Falon Din and Dirthamin came across an old and sickly deer resting beneath a tree. "Why do you sit so still, little sister?" asked Falon Din. "Play with us," said Dirthamin. "Alas," spoke the deer, "I cannot. I am old, and although I wish to go to my rest, my legs can no longer carry me." Taking pity on the deer, Falon Din gathered her up into his arms and carried her to her rest beyond the veil. Dirthamin tried to follow them, but the shifting great paths beyond the veil would not let him. Separated for the first time from Falon Din, Dirthamin wandered aimlessly till he came across two ravens. "You are lost, and soon you will fade," the raven named Fear said to Dirthamin. "Your brother has abandoned you. He no longer loves you," said the other, named Deceit. "I am not lost, and Falon Din has not abandoned me," replied Dirthamin. He subdued the ravens and bade them carry him to Falon Din. They did this, for they had been defeated and were now bound to Dirthamin's service. When Dirthamin found Falon Din, he found also the deer, who once again was light on her feet, for her spirit was released from her weakened body. Both Falon Din and Dirthamin rejoiced to see this. Falon Din vowed that he would remain to carry all the dead to their place beyond, just as he did the deer, and Dirthamin stayed with him, for the twins cannot bear to be apart. From the story of Falon Din and Dirthamin as told by Gisharel, keeper of the Ralaferan clan of the Dalish Elves. Again, I find these so interesting, given what we learn in Trespasser. I mean, the likelihood of them being the children of Elganon and Mythal, very unlikely. The likelihood of them being twins, that I find slightly more believable. I still think it could be bullshit, but I find the idea that they were twins a lot more likely than they were the kids of Elganon. That screams of something that was added in afterwards. We need to make the gods feel more like a family. Therefore, we're going to start adding in familial connections. That kind of thing. I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't be surprised. Because it never says that Falon Din and Dirthamin were identical. I wouldn't be surprised if they were lovers. And then afterwards, I don't know if maybe the early Dalish had a problem with two gay men or whatever, but they were like, lovers? No, they were twins. They were siblings. That's why they were constantly hanging around each other. It could be an early, r/Sappho and her friends, like, look at those two girls kissing. They're such good friends. Or, oh, aren't they lovely sisters? And you're just like, no, Karen, they're gay. They're lesbians. I could see something like that happening. I could. I'd probably laugh. Oh, shit, hello. You're right, big boy. Excuse me, don't run. Don't run from me. Give me one of these. Excuse you. How dare face me. Oh, you know what? I'ma fight the undead. I can at least get these guys. You're down. Okay, is it just you? No, I think there is another undead, but oh, you know what? Do one of these. Spinny spin. And then can we do a bat? More screaming. More these. Okay. Oh, hello. Hello, undead. You're right. You just came out of nowhere. Get on the floor. And more spinny spins. There we go. Okay. I'll leave that one to full. It's fine. I'm not gonna lie. I hate... Oh, that was close. And you're dead. As I was saying, I hate fighting arcane horrors in Inquisition just because they're constantly bamfing all over the place. It's not so bad if you're playing a ranged character, but if you're melee, it just constantly running all over the battlefield. It gets very annoying. And a yoink. Now what's in here? Ooh. Oh, we are cutting it so fine with our inventory. We really are. Fortunately, I think that's it. I'm pretty sure we've just completed the Exalted Plains. Hey, nice. And here's the doorway that we found earlier, close by where Cassandra's former Templar was stood. Oh, the Gurguts. Look at them run through the water. And you know what? Let me just... it'd be under journal. Collections. I want to make sure that we've got all... Yeah, we've got all the landmarks. What about regions? Got all of them. And do we have all the shards? That we do. Yeah, with that, all we have left is a well-stocked camp, which we can't do until we go to the Emerald Graves, and scattered glyphs, which we do from Skyhold. Yet we are almost completed with the Exalted Plains. There's nothing more for us to do here. In that case, you know what? I think we should go back to Skyhold. It has been quite a while since I spoke with my companions. It'll also give us an opportunity to sort out our inventory. Yeah, I think that's good. Having another companion chat episode. There we go. I do speak English, I swear. And you know what? Let's start with Varric. We've been meaning to ask him about a book for Cassandra for ages. Let's go do that. Also, anyone got anything to say?
Inquisitor.
Hello, random Orlesian man.
I've got a minute if you need something.
Okay. We actually haven't asked any of these, so let's go round.
What are your thoughts on the Inquisition?
If there's anybody out there who hasn't joined the Inquisition, they're hiding under a rock. Did you want to take over for Eldon? I think we might be able to conquer it just by looking east.
I love that line. I love that line for the foreshadowing.
How do you think Josephine is handling the job of ambassador?
If this Inquisition thing doesn't work out, I may hire her to deal with the Merchants Guild. She'd own them before breakfast.
What do you think of our general?
He's been insufferably smug lately. You might want to tell him to watch his back. I think Liliana might shiv him.
Oh dear.
What do you think of Leliana's work?
Do you want to know what the Arashok had for breakfast this morning? I think she can tell you.
Good to know.
Back to work, then.
Still, Liliana's got spies in Saharon that are close to the Arashok? Okay, then.
I've got a minute if you need something.
That I do. Personal questions.
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Okay, apparently not.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem. Looking for someone to talk your ear off? I think I can oblige.
I want to know more about Red Lyrium.
I'll tell you what I can.
Okay, there we go. Because we saw, now we know the Red Templars are using it, and we've seen it petrify people at Haven, we can now ask Varric about this. Okay, that's cool.
What could the Templars want with it?
In Kirkwall, just having the Lyrium idol made Knight Commander Meredith impossibly strong. Before it turned her into a Lyrium statue, anyway. Maybe they thought the power was worth it, or maybe they didn't know the consequences.
Or maybe, I'm just putting this out there, or maybe they've refined it. Maybe they've figured out a way to, because I mean, we've seen we've seen the result, the really deformed looking Templars, but at least they're still up and mobile. They haven't become statues, so maybe they've figured out the best way to work with it. How does it petrify people? Excuse me?
I think that's enough on Red Lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
No, there was another one.
Looking for someone to talk your ear off? I think I can oblige.
I want to know more about Red Lyrium.
I'll tell you what I can.
I've seen it infect people like a disease and turn them to lyrium. How can it do that?
That's a good question. The people I've had studying the stuff say you need to actually touch it to get infected. But it seems to take time. The longer you spend with it, the more likely you'll come down with a case of the crazy. But how it works, and if it can be cured, they haven't figured out.
Oof.
I think that's enough on Red Lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
I mean, there's no curing Meredith. 100%. She went full statue. Also in Tevinter Nights, we learn that someone goes up to the statue, opens up the chest cavity, and finds the idol sitting there. So even if there was a cure, Meredith's heart has effectively been plucked out. She ain't surviving that.
I've got a minute if you need something.
Yeah, tell me about Corypheus.
What can you tell me about this Corypheus?
I'm not exactly an expert, but ask away and I'll answer what I can.
How did you find him? What is he? You said he should be dead. Again, I think this is interesting. Aenor is definitely taking note of this. But Aenor has no reason to trust Amelia. That's a random stranger. And if I'm going to be brutally honest, what the fuck has Amelia done? Like, seriously, what has she done? She dicked about in a city for 7 years. How is that impressive? Like, that is just a random stranger to Aenor. That is not someone who she'd be like, oh my god, the champion of Kirkwall, oh my god, you're a hero, oh, da, da. Like, no, she dicked about in a city for 7 years. She was a refugee who, like, made a bunch of money. That's impressive, like, I guess. Yeah, but there are going to be plenty of other refugees who fled the Blight who made something of their lives. Like, she fought the Arashok. Okay. Like, Aenor's a warrior. Aenor fights big people all the time. Like, that wouldn't necessarily seem impressive to her. Like, yes, Amelia is a mage, but she probably used spells to fight the Arashok. Again, Aenor wasn't there. Aenor didn't see Amelia weaving through pillars and just stunning him occasionally and being like, dog, save me. But yeah, Aenor would just assume, oh, she must have used magic. Like, okay, so again, that doesn't seem particularly impressive. There is nothing Amelia did that would wow Aenor. Aenor has no reason to believe Amelia, but she has reason to believe Varric. Varric has been with Aenor since the beginning. Like, I can't remember if he was one of the people who came into future Redcliffe with her. I remember Solus was one of the party members she took. I can't remember if it was Cassandra or Varric, though. The other party member was Dorian. Either way, whether he came into the future or not, it would have been Varric because he would have been our rogue. Okay, so yeah, she saw him give his life for her in future Redcliffe. He's been with her since the beginning. He's been helping. Aenor trusts Varric. If Varric says Corypheus was dead, she's gonna believe him where she wouldn't necessarily believe Amelia. We'll leave that one for last. How exactly did you find him?
How did you first encounter him?
A few years back, I was dealing with some trouble from a Carter clan that went rogue. They were sending assassins after the Hawk family. We tracked them to a rune in the Vimarks. It turned out to be a trap. Once you went far enough into the rune, there was a magic barrier that kept you from going back. The whole thing was a prison the Grey Wardens were using to hold what they thought was a powerful darkspawn.
Yeah, and I do think Aenor would be thinking, why didn't they just kill him? Why keep him around? The Grey Wardens are supposed to kill Darkspawn. How do I put this? This is the difference between Amelia and Aenor. Amelia would go, why didn't they just kill him? Why were the Grey Wardens being so stupid? Because, you know, at various points through Dragon Age 2, she encountered Grey Wardens who weren't behaving like Grey Wardens, especially Nathaniel. Nathaniel basically saying, oh, the hero Ferelden made a deal with the Darkspawn. That truly disgusted Amelia. Amelia liked the Grey Wardens, but she didn't have some kind of undying loyalty. So, you know, like, oh, I can't believe Warden Commander Idukan would make a deal with the Darkspawn. Fuck her. Whereas Aenor, she does love the Grey Wardens. She does have that loyalty. So her response would be, oh, well, clearly there was some other reason for that. Like, why didn't they just kill him? Well, clearly they must have had a reason why they didn't kill him. Maybe they wanted to get information out of him. Maybe they thought he'd be useful. Maybe they couldn't. Like, there must be some reason for that. Compared to Amelia, who'd just be like, shitty people. Terrible people. Don't trust the Grey Wardens. No thank you.
I've never heard of Wardens locking up Darkspawn. Why wouldn't they just kill him and be done with it?
I don't think they could. From what we saw in there, Corypheus can control Wardens somehow. They couldn't attack him. The Wardens locked him up because there was nothing else they could do.
He looks like some sort of blighted creature, but he speaks. What is he exactly?
The Wardens who imprisoned him thought he was just a darkspawn. But you heard him ranting. He claims he's a Magister. One who assaulted the Golden City, what, more than 1,000 years ago? It seems crazy, but if he's telling the truth, he's one of the people who caused the blights.
He's a blighted creature, but he talks. That's normal, Aenor. It says so in the Codex entries. Herlock emissaries and alphas are capable of speech. Oh, it hurts me that the game often forgets, or at least that people in the game often forget that.
You and Hawk both said before he was supposed to be dead.
He was dead. We killed him. The only way for us to escape the prison Corypheus was trapped in was to go through him. We weren't going to just leave the door to his prison open behind us and hope he was dead. We made sure.
And if Varric says that, Aenor would believe him. She trusts Varric.
All right. I think that's enough about Corypheus.
No problem.
It's enough about Corypheus, but I'm still not done talking to you.
Looking for someone to talk your ear off? I think I can oblige.
Yeah, Cassandra wants a book.
Cassandra is waiting for the next issue of Swords and Shields.
I must have heard that wrong. It sounded like you just said that Cassandra read my books.
You sound surprised. She's a big fan. I did say that. This is very funny, but I don't think Aenor would embarrass Cassandra like that.
What's so surprising about that?
You have met Cassandra, haven't you? Wait, did you say the romance serial? Oh, she'll be waiting for a while then. I haven't finished it and wasn't planning to. That book is easily the worst I've ever written. The last issue barely sold enough to pay for the ink.
It can't be that bad. I need it as a gift. No wonder she was embarrassed. Cassandra seems to like it. Ooh. I'm drawn to this. This seems unnecessarily dismissive. Kind of the same with this of like, oh, well, it can't be that shitty if Cassandra likes it. Like, I just don't feel these. I mean, why is Aenor doing this? Unless she wants to give Cassandra the next book. Maybe it's like a peace offering. You know, you kind of kidnapped me at the beginning and things were a little bit awkward, but I want you to know that I don't bear you any grudges. I was a lone Dalish. I understand that that's suspicious. I think you were perfectly justified in your behavior. You know, you thought you were doing what was right, and I understand that. So here, have this shitty romance book that I know you enjoy as a peace offering. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I was hoping to give it to Cassandra as a gift.
Oh, come on, that's just cruel. Even the Seeker doesn't deserve that. So, you want me to finish writing the latest issue of my worst serial for Cassandra? Oh, that's such a terrible idea. I have to do it. On one condition. I get to be there when you give her the book.
I don't think so. Fine. Here's the thing. If we say no, then it never gets written. We kind of have to go along with him.
You've got a deal.
I'll get to work then. You know, the fact that the book is terrible just makes it more worthwhile somehow.
Hey, guilty pleasures. Give Cassandra the latest chapter of Swords and Shields. Varric, you're such a quick writer. Damn. I'm gonna leave talking about Hawke until later. I'm probably gonna have another round of companion talks once I've done the Emerald Graves before we go and do the next main mission. Cassandra, I have a gift. Hello, Breakathram. And is that Sir? Oh, hey, that's cool. He's hanging out with the Seeker.
Training here will save them out there, if they're smart.
Well, hopefully they're smart. Fingers crossed.
What have you done now?
I get it, Seeker. You're still sore after our spat.
I'm not a child, Varric. Do not suggest I'm without reason.
A peace offering. The next chapter of Swords and Shields. I hear you're a fan.
This is your doing.
I hoped you'd like it. None other. Stop pretend. Yeah. Come on, Cassandra. This is a gift.
I was hoping you'd be happy about it.
Well, if you're not interested, you're not interested. Still needs editing anyhow.
Wait!
You're probably wondering what happens to the Knight Captain after the last chapter.
Nothing should happen to her. She was falsely accused.
Well, it turns out the guardsmen...
Don't tell me!
This is the part where you thank the Inquisitor. I don't normally give sneak peeks, after all.
Just Cassandra greatly approves.
Thank you.
Hey! Hey, it's all good.
Varric's the one you should be thanking.
I am but a humble servant to my loyal readers.
I wonder if I have time to read the first part.
Don't forget to tell all your friends, if you have any. Completely worth it.
Hey, nice. She has friends. She has Aenor. How are you doing, Cassandra? Ooh.
Planning troop movements now.
I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan.
We make things better. You can't guess. There is no plan. Yeah, I've said this before. I think Aenor, the one thing that is kind of keeping her going is the fact that everything will be better once they're finished. You know, right now, she feels like she's drowning under the weight of everyone's expectations. But if they can make things just a little bit better, then it'll all have been worth it.
We make the world a better place.
Because everyone agrees on what better means. I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
I don't want the same things. Those are admirable goals. You're too idealistic. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. Ooh. Here's the thing. A lot of those things Aenor can agree with. I think the main issue she has is that they're so Chantry-centric. You know, I want a world where people can trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. And here's the thing. There are so many elves and dwarves and Qunari who are Andrastian. You know, because they were raised in that environment. Or maybe they were Dalish and then they realized, you know what, I don't believe in the Dalish gods. I believe in the Maker. And, you know, then they joined up that way. You know, the Qunari, maybe they left the Qun, maybe they were never in the Qun to begin with. And how does the Chantry treat those people? The Chantry treats them with disgust and disdain and tells them that they are lesser because of the colour of their skin, their height, and the shape of their ears. And that's where Aenor is like, you're screwing over your own people there. That's incredibly hurtful. I get why the Chantry would dislike the Dalish and the Qunari and traditional dwarves, but you're treating your own people as being less worthy when they have just as fervent belief as any human. That's wrong. That's bullshit. At the same time, I've said this before, Aenor doesn't want to see the Chantry dissolved. She doesn't want Andrastianism to just disappear because her people's religion has practically disappeared, and that hurts, and she doesn't want other people to feel that pain. Ooh. They are admirable as long as they don't get twisted into something else. Here's my thing. I don't think these sound like Aenor, because like I said, a lot of the stuff Cassandra said she does agree with. And I think Aenor is very idealistic, so I don't think she'd have a go at someone else for being idealistic, so I kind of have to go with this.
Even if they're not right, they're certainly admirable.
Some would disagree. They would call it heresy.
That didn't sound like the ravings of a heretic, Cassandra.
Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging. Tell me, what guides you? You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
You almost sound like you admire me.
I absolutely do. I may not always agree with your decisions, but how many could do what you have done? You were a prisoner, accused and reviled, yet you've emerged from every trial victorious. The Maker's grace does not make you immortal. You live or die by your own hand. That is worthy of admiration.
I obey my conscience, I make it up as I go, I do what must be done, yeah. Aenor does what she thinks is right.
I'm guided by what my conscience tells me.
Your conscience must speak more clearly than mine.
I doubt it, but I do my best.
Think of it. Like Andraste long ago, once again the fate of Thedas will be determined by a woman. It makes me proud to know you.
Oh, just because I'm a woman. No, I think Aenor does consider Cassandra a friend. It's kind of an awkward friendship, considering where they started, but I do think that Aenor has a lot of respect for Cassandra.
I hope we can call each other friends.
I hope so too. We still have a long road to travel, Inquisitor. Wherever it takes us, I'm glad you're here.
Oh, okay, there we go. Oh Lord, I was like, game, please. Okay, no, everything is fine. Oh, that was lovely. That was so sweet. I like that. In the next episode, are you okay, Cassandra? She's going for a sneak attack. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Sneak up on your enemies, Cassandra. Backstab. Shiv them. Okay, in the next episode, we're going to continue chatting with Cassandra. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment below. And if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.